All right, this is Module 1, Lesson 7. We're going to be talking about identifying proportional and non-proportional relationships in graphs. So the opening exercise says Isaiah sold candy bars to help raise money for his scouting troop. The table shows the amount of candy he sold compared to the amount of money he received. So our question is the amount of candy bars sold proportional to the money that Isaiah received? So let's look at that. Now we learned that in order to figure out if something is proportional, we need to find the unit rate. To do that, we're going to do y divided by x. Y value is money. X value is candy bars. All right, so let's go through and find it for each pair of numbers. So let's do the first one. We have 3 divided by 2, our y value divided by our x value, and that would be 1.5. 5 divided by 4 gives us 1.25. Then we have 9 divided by 8. You can enter that into the calculator. So 9 divided by 8 gives us 1.125. And the last one is 12 divided by 12, which is 1. All right, so is the amount of candy bars sold proportional to the money he received? And the answer is no. This is not a proportional relationship. Because all of the unit rates are not the same. All right, so now let's talk about applying this to a graph. Now, before I start talking about these relationships on a graph, I do want to talk a little bit about the coordinate plane. So, first of all, let's talk about the different parts of a coordinate plane. Let's label the origin. So this right here is the origin. It is labeled 0, 0, and just the point in the middle of the graph. Now the x-axis is the horizontal axis. The y-axis is the one that goes up and down. Now, quadrants. There are 4 sections to this graph. That's why they're called quadrants. Quadrant 1 is in the upper right. Then it goes counterclockwise. So that's 2, 3, and 4. Now it says number the axes. Now we know 0, 0 is in the middle. All of my positive numbers are to the right, and you always label on the lines, not in the spaces. And all the negatives are to the left. Okay, all the positives on the y-axis are going up, and the negatives are going down. Now, an ordered pair would be x comma y. Okay, it has 2 letters with parentheses. Okay, so let's apply this first opening exercise and actually graph it, and I'm going to show you what happens when you have a graph of this. So it says using the ratio provided, create a table that shows the money received is proportional to the number of candy bars sold. So here's the ratio that we have. It says continue this chart. So now let's just double it. Let's triple 2, 3. So that would be 6 and 9. And then I'm going to multiply both by 4, which would be 8 and 12. Okay, let's graph this on the graph. So I'm going to go over to 2 up to the 3rd floor, over to 4 up to the 6th floor, over to 6 up to the 9th, then over to 8 up to 12. So this is my graph. So what observations can we make? Well, look at this, the points. Notice they all form a straight line. So if we extend the line in both would we extend the line in both directions? Now notice I put an arrow up here. That's because you can have more candy bars and they would just cost more money. But can you have negative candy bars and negative money? No, you can't have that. So you would not extend it in both directions because you cannot sell negative candy bars. That just doesn't make sense. Now, this is a proportional relationship, and I'm going to tell you 2 reasons why. Okay, so let's take a look at this. Okay, so the characteristics of graphs of proportional relationship, number 1, they are always a straight line. And number 2, they always go through the origin. So 2 things that a graph must have in order to be a proportional relationship. So let's look at the next couple examples, and we're going to just determine if they are proportional relationships or not. All right, so graph number 1. It says graph the points from the opening exercise. This is the graph that, or the chart that we were given. So let's plot these points on the line, or on the graph. All right. So if you were to look at this, okay, I'm going to get a straight edge right now so that I can show you that this graph looks to be straight. But if you actually look at it, does it go through the origin? The origin is 0, 0, and the answer is no. So we would say that no, this relationship is not a proportional relationship. All right, let's just say it is not proportional. This relationship is not proportional because it does not go through the origin. So it has to have both. It has to be straight and it has to go through the origin. All right, let's check out example 2. This one says to graph the points again. So let's do that. So 0, 6, 3, 9 would be in between. 6, 12, 9, 15, 12, 18. Okay, so here's our lines. I'm going to see if they are straight. They appear to be. So let's take a look at this. What do we notice about this compared to the graph we just did? Okay, so both of them, they do not go through the origin. And both of them are straight lines. So there, I don't really see any differences, but it does say, is the relationship proportional? Right away, we can see that it is a straight line, but it does not go through the origin. So therefore, it would not be a proportional relationship. So we would write no. This relationship is not proportional because it does not go through the origin. All All right, and that is the only examples we're going to do in class. I'd like you to attempt the homework. Just remember, you're looking for two things when you're doing graphs of proportional relationships. You're looking to see if they are straight lines and if they go through the origin. It has to meet both criteria in order to be a proportional relationship. All right, good luck on that homework.